Hey, how's it going, guys? Was not expecting to get this so soon, but let's jump right into it. So today I have the Marvel Legends Thunderbolts 2-pack of John F. Walker, aka U.S. Agent, and Sentry, aka Bob Reynolds. Here's the packaging. Got Thunderbolts there and the names, Thunderbolts on the side. This is going to be a tricky part, but they do have their own pictures there. They don't have a lot of room here. And then there's two of those pictures again. And it has a bio that says, after losing the title of Captain America, John F. Walker must face the sins of his past when a covert mission turns into something much more sinister. And Sentry has, beneath the surface, the seemingly ordinary yet mysterious Robert Reynolds holds the power to become the Sentry, the strongest hero the world has ever known. So yeah, we'll take a look at the accessories first. As a brief side note, I had a first take of this review. So if I'm rushing a little bit at the beginning here, it's because I've done the first part before. so here. So for Sentry, he comes with two fists. To be fair, Sentry doesn't really have like a whole lot of need for a whole lot of other stuff, but could I have taken like some sort of alternate head sculpt or something like that? Yeah. But and then for John, he also comes with two or a pair of fists. And of course, his shield, which is actually done rather nicely. And you can see there's all those scratches and dents, like it's definitely been in battle, and there's even like signs that there's bullet holes. They never do say what the material is of this shield in the movie. I know it's not vibranium, but it has to still be strong. At least in the comics, the U.S. Agent's shield is never vibranium. Like, I mean, maybe it's adamantium. Maybe it's something else. I don't know. It's usually Cap is the only one that has the vibranium shield. So I'm assuming it's not, but who knows? So, but it's done. I mean, it looks like a shield. In the I will say, this is fine. There's a very, 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 very tiny part on my personal end. I like that to kind of emphasize the difference between the two Captain Americas and John, that John has US with this tiny star in the middle instead of just the star. But that's a personal preference from the comics, so to me it doesn't really matter. But it would be kind of cool if they did that in the movie, and that's accurate to the movie, so it's fine. So, but we're gonna take a look at John first. Now I'm gonna lower this a bit. I have wanted a John for a long time, ever since Falcon and Winter Soldier. But also a U.S. Agent in general, because I've known about U.S. Agent for a little while as well. But I always found, a lot of my, like, kind of, maybe not necessarily favorite characters, but some of the characters that, like, are niche that I really like U.S. Agent, are typically, like, these kind of, hand-to-hand combat styled characters. So U.S. Agent kind of falls in line with that. But the good thing is, this is the better version. The paint is accurate now, and the head sculpt's more accurate, and all of that. The only thing that with the accessories that I wish he had was his pistol, because he does actively use one in the movie, and they still just went with, because this is the same figure as the one from Falcon and Winter Soldier. I don't have that one though, so this is all new to me, but this is glued in. You could, of course, always take someone else's pistols. I know that in the Red Guardian and Yelena 2-pack, there's two pistols that he does have in the movie, but I don't think he ever uses. So my suggestion would be, if you get both of these 2-packs, take one of Red Guardian's pistols and give it to John. So, but yeah, so this looks great. I mean, the red and white is accurate. I like that it kind of looks like, he's been experiencing a lot of, missions, but the paint is all accurate. The sculpt's done well. I mean, again, it's a reuse, but again, it's my first time seeing it, so this is really, really nice. And the head sculpt is really well done. I know some people would probably want an unmasked John, and it's always great to have that option because there is a decent part of the movie where he doesn't have the mask or mask helmet. I don't know. Would you call this a mask or a helmet? I guess a bit of both. So, where he's not wearing it. But for me, I will always have this on anyway, so it doesn't really matter to me. But I do understand the option would be nice. So let's take a look at his articulation. So we're going to do, how I'm going to do this is that I'm separating it in terms of like looking at the figure, doing the articulation, but then the comparisons will be done together. Because it's been a while since I've done a 2-pack. I don't even, gosh, when was the last 2-pack I did? I feel like that was years ago now. So let's see. His head is on a ball joint, so it can look up that far, look down that far, look side to side. It's got excellent tilt. It's got a shoulder that goes all the way around, goes up that far. Bicep swivel, double jointed pinless elbows. The wrist swivel and a hinge in and out. I think on the other side too, it's also an in and out. He's got an ab crunch that allows him to go that far down, that far back. They didn't paint it all the way up, but I don't, would it just be red, I guess? But I'm not going to really have him go that far back anyway. So he's got a belt here that kind of hides the waist swivel. Leg kicks out that far, kicks forward that far, back that far. Has an upper thigh swivel, though it does break some of the paint, but only on the back. You won't notice it on the front as much. It's got a double jointed knee. It's actually the first time I've overly affected. Oh, it doesn't actually go all the way. Well, that kind of sucks. Ooh. It looks like there's supposed to be a boot swivel, but I'm not going to test that at all. It kind of moved a little bit, but I'm not going to force it. That looks bad. If there is a boot swivel, then, well, dang, there might be, because that looks like it's off-centered. But I'm not going to mess with it. Got an ankle joint that goes down, goes up, and has ankle pivot. So now, let's get into the Sentry. And here he is. And I've known about the Sentry for a while, and I've always wanted an action figure. There was that comic one that was a Walgreens exclusive that I almost did get, but I just ended up not doing so for whatever reason. And I'm kind of glad because I do like this version of Sentry a lot. I wonder if they will do a Void, because, you know, it would just be this, but it would just be painted all black. So I don't know if they should do that. I personally wouldn't need it in that form. But, I mean, it looks accurate, you know. Head sculpt is awesome. He's got the slicked back hair that he didn't seem to like in the movie. But you actually have a lot of this line work, which is typical of the movies. I know some people don't like it. I can take it or leave it. It depends on the outfit. To me, it just adds that feature of like a super suit in real world. Kind of works in that regard, so it doesn't look as like spandexy. But, and then of course you got the logo there, which is very comic accurate. Let's see, is there any details on the back? There's some line work on the back, but there's really not much paint there. Boots have gold and they're dark blue. And the cape is fine. I like that it's only slightly sweeping, so it's not too crazy. But yeah, it's a very awesome Sentry figure. I'm happy to have him. And speaking of, you'll probably see it in the thumbnail because this is what I'm planning on doing. I also found one of the these action figure stands. These are my favorite ones to get. And I have officially only 2 before I got this one, so this is my 3rd one. I hope to get more because it's just really useful and it's really reliable, and it's the only ones that I can find out in the wild that I don't have to order online or really assemble myself. So I'm sure there are better ones out there, but for me, these are great, and I can't wait to have. I hope to get a few more, but this is a side note that I'm not going to even get too into. So let's get into the articulation of Sentry here. So the head sculpt, I think, is also on a ball joint. I wonder if that's an MCU thing. Yeah, it's a ball joint. I wonder if that's an MCU thing because they don't want to mess up the real, like especially under here where you see like the neck and everything, that they don't want to mess up that. But so he doesn't really look up that much. He can look down kind of. He can look side to side, and he does have good tilt. His arm, well, does rotate. Goes out a bicep swivel. Double jointed pinless elbows. Wrist swivel in and out. I think that's on both sets of hands. Yes, it is. Now the diaphragm joint is probably the biggest point of content that I've seen with this guy. It only goes back that far, so he cannot be like this or even like this and flying. So that does suck. It doesn't even go down that far. But at the end of the day, it still works. But I will say that's probably my only major complaint about this figure. It can go down that far. It can barely tilt, but it can swivel. Leg kicks up that far. Kicks back that far. Kicks out. All the way. As Robo would say, if you watch Robo Don't Know, that's better than some Spider-Mans. He's got a upper thigh swivel. Got double jointed knees. Ankles go down, go up, and he's got ankle pivot. So now I'm going to get them both hopefully standing. I did say hopefully. I can't guarantee anything, but I really want to get them both standing because I want them both for comparisons. Which always seems to be so interesting whenever I do them. So then I'm going to switch out John's right hand for a fist. Just for now, because I'm going to put the shield on that side. I don't know if that's accurate. It might be the left hand, I'm not sure, but I'm going to get him in a slight pose, just so you can see the shield is. And there. Okay. And they do look excellent next to each other. I guess I should mostly do movie figures. Well, there's one immediately that I can do. Considering he was in the movie with them, it's just not the look he had. Okay, let's see. So there they are next to Bucky. And, you know, I will say, I for everyone else's sake, I hope they do a Bucky from Thunderbolts. I'm just praying they don't do it in a 2-pack with Ghost, because I don't, not that I wouldn't take another Bucky, because he's my favorite Marvel character, but I really want Ghost, and I don't want to get it behind a paywall of getting another Bucky. So, but there he is next to that, and they look good. Let's see, who else? Who else should I put them next to? Well, let's see. Since I don't want to take Sam off of his stand, trying to keep it more movie-wise, even though I don't personally care mixing movies and comics, especially now because they're getting more comic accurate in live action. But here they are next to the new Falcon, which looks pretty cool. Like I said, I would get Sam, but he's on a stand, and I really don't feel like taking him down right now. So yeah, I guess I'll just leave it there for now. Probably not the best comparison segment, but so yeah, there you are. There is the John Walker and Sentry 2-pack. I'm really happy to have these. I hope to find Yelena and Red Guardian soon. Hopefully not at GameStop, but because GameStop is a little more pricey for someone like me. But hopefully I find those two soon, and then you'll see that 2-pack, and then I can show them all together. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.